Hello, this is Junaid. As promised, it's a hands-on video for demonstration of apps that I mentioned in previous presentation. Sharpen the saw, effective, efficient learning in medicine. So we're going to go ahead and start with a few app demonstrations here. So the first one, as I told you about in the presentation, is Browsign. So you basically open the app, and then as you can see, there's a whole list of magazines, and then for each magazine, when you click on it, you can see the articles, and it is divided with issues on the side. So if you click on available issues, this is the one that you're already on, and then it will show you article in press. And for example, this is something that you're interested in, you can click on the main title, and then you can see at the bottom it has finding article, and it's continuing to ring, and it's loaded the PDF, and now I can directly see the PDF. I can actually share it directly into my reference library, which is PaperPile at this point in time, and it synchronizes directly the PDF into my library. And I'll come to PaperPile in a minute, but as you can see, it uploaded the PDF, and then we go from there. So it depends on which library you have access to. So I actually have access to University of Wisconsin-Madison. I'm a clinical adjunct professor, and therefore I have access to this excellent library. I'm grateful for them. If you go into this Browsign library, it actually syncs available titles from your library and then makes them available. And then you can go into biological sciences supposedly, and then go into neuroscience, and then neurophysiology. There will be all these articles, but if you just search here and say neuro, and then these will be available journals in that particular library. So this is again an excellent app that you can use. Again, this is Browsign, so it is like browse magazines. It has no search capability, it has no keyword capability, it has limited search capability. The second app we're going to look at today is Read by QXMD. Exactly like Browsign, you can go and look at My Journals. You can edit over here and basically add, let's say, for example, I wanted to add chest now, and I added that journal. And if I go in, I can see that chest has more than 99 papers that I have to read, and I can go back and look at all these articles. And this is sorted into with the publication date in a descending order. Now, American Academy, so for example, I have this journal and I like this, central vein sign in radiologically isolated syndrome, and then as you can see at the very bottom, it's saying checking access, and it's downloading that paper. Again, I can view it as PDF. I can click on this same icon, and then I can export it into my favorite library, which is currently I'm using PaperPile. So it's exactly works the same way as Browsign did. However, on top of this particular functionality, the thing that I really like about this is collections. So I have my own collection built. It's called Epilepsy by Junaid Kalia, and then I am actually adding my own papers in there, and I'm able to share this. As a matter of fact, if you go and I click share, I can share this whole collection to whoever. And in this app, of course, they have to install the app and then use it. Similarly, I have a neurocritical care collection. However, I have other people who have done beautiful work. For example, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he always adds excellent articles. So for example, he has added the Neurologic Clinic's Vasculitis that just recently released. So fantastic articles that people add, and then you can go back and check on them. That's one additional excellent curation from many different physicians that I have access to, and I can search for. Then I have keyword search available. So for example, I have different keywords that I've suggested here, and then I actually look for. So traumatic brain injury is one of them. So I do subscribe to JAMA, but I do not subscribe to Canadian Journal of Anesthesia right here. So what this does is that it just, for my topics, pulls up from the web whatever the new articles are available. And some of them I have access to, some of them I don't. For example, this one I do, and it downloaded a PDF. And if I like it, I'll add it to my library. I don't add everything to my library. The ones that I have to reference later, I just add them to the library. So this is how this particular keyword search function works. Lastly, my saved papers come in. So this is my collection, which is public. And then I can actually make a private collection that I don't want to share with anyone. And at the very end, there's direct search. It is okay, it is not the best, but at the end of the day, you have something. And sometimes I just copy the PMID number and search it here and quickly download a paper from Read, because it has been already authenticated with my library. So that's Read by QXMD, fantastic app. Journal Club is another curator. This only specializes in clinical trials. So most of this, so first, if you go to if you come to trials, you can sort it by name or date. So this is sorted by date. So this will tell us all the clinical trials that have happened since January, and this is the one that is basically published in April. And if you can keep going and actually just review clinical trials, actual trials. However, this is not that useful, clearly. So you go to specialties, and if you go to specialties, you can go to neurology, and then in neurology, you can basically see all the journals. You can sort them by date or name. So let's say by date, and then in 2018, there's a point trial, precision trial, rescue ICP trial, which I'm going to save into my favorites. And then, of course, some of them are already saved in my favorites. You can go by disease. So let's say critical illness, and then again sort by date, and then you can see antipsychotics in ICU delirium. Now this basically opens up a PICO type summary written by real physicians, and it's pretty awesome that you can actually review the whole trial in a very fast, easy way. So excellent job here. You can always go back and refer to your favorites, and then there's some other settings that you can change here, and then you can just always click on the recent summary, recent updates, to just review them. So all in all, an excellent app. This is a paid app. I paid for it by my own funds. I think it was $7. The one after that is AINeuroCare. This is one of the best learning neuroanatomy learning softwares that I can get my hands on. It's $75 a year. I again paid by my own funds, and it's fantastic. They recently added this arteries of the brain, so you can actually go through them and then see, and then these are all labels done. I'm not going to show too much. I'm not sure how much I can show this, but if you're watching, this is amazing. And then you can review all your neuroanatomy from here. Fantastic must-have app for anyone. It also has CT head and neck, CT face, and if you keep going down, the reason I'm showing you this is this cervical spine. So definitely I had trouble with spine. They don't have thoracic yet, but they're constantly adding more modules. So again, one of the most important apps in your arsenal as a neurologist. The next one I'm going to talk about is MD Calc. So it is basically a calculator. The minute I fire it up, it goes to my favorites, and then I can easily scroll through my favorites, and as you can see, all these favorites are saved. And then I can just go to, let's say, NIH stroke scale, and then you can just go through the calculator, and then, you know, keep clicking, and at this point in time, you can get an NIH stroke scale that you can pass along. It doesn't have a functionality to it in the sense that you can share it or text it or something. I wish they added that. Other than that, this is pretty amazing, and I regularly use this, and I have my own favorites list, so I can quickly go and refer and go from there. There constantly new scores have been added, and they send you an email. So if you go into the notification actually, so yeah, here you go. So this is a new one that has recently been added. This is actually not a score, but they constantly add new scores all the time. So this is MD Calc, again, must-have app, and I would urge you to register so that you can actually save your favorites list. And then finally, we come to Feedly. Now, Feedly is basically the RSS aggregator, free to use, available. And then this is where I use all my, so I have my sections: deals, medicine, news, TV subscriptions, and Web 2.0. So TV subscriptions is basically, you know, YouTube, Google Talks, etc. So some things that I need to follow, video-wise, that I always wanted to see. I forgot to add my book club, so I have to add it over here. However, if you go to medicine, then you can actually subscribe to journals directly here. Again, much better than Twitter and Facebook, because it gives you more succinct information in a non-distracted way. So I personally liked it. For example, Moby Health News over here is here. So let's just click on that. So Doctor on Demand team up on a new virtual care model. So I get all these information at the tip of my hands, and it's just, you're walking around in the hallways and you just have it and just get your information. And if you like it, I just save it in Pocket, which is my bookmarks manager, and then I come back and read the whole thing. So this is pretty good and less distracting than following these things on Twitter or Facebook. And then last not the least is PaperPile. I'm going to show you here PaperPile version of this app is in beta, so you can't really have it. I have a beta invitation that I'm using this, so don't take this with a grain of salt. And secondly, this is may not be the same until you see it. Anyways, whatever it is, so you can actually go and look at your library, search your library, and then if whatever papers you wanted to keep on as a local storage, you can click on it, and then it opens up the PDF. Much better to use it on iPad, which I normally use this on iPad more than any place else. So this is PaperPile mobile application. I'm going to go ahead and show you the desktop application now. So if you go on PaperPile, first of all, you can easily sign in with your Google account. So that's, in my opinion, very easy and fast and important. This is your front screen, and these are all your papers that are available in your library. And if you go to all papers, like 2100 papers in my library, you can click on add paper and browse online database, and it will open up Google Scholar. So let's say if I search teleneurology. So, and as I'm reading these, I have this plus button right here, as you can see. So I can just directly add this into the PaperPile, and this is going to automatically import that particular article. If I am on a website, for example, like neurology website, and then I have this particular article, I have a Chrome extension that I can click the button and just say add to PaperPile, and this is going to import, and it's going to try to start importing PDF, but it has not been able to get the PDF, and exactly like how Read by QXMD and Browseline are trying to do, error finding PDF. So if you go back up here, and this is the Global Teleneurology Service Insights, so you can see that it's not able to find PDF. So what you can do is you can say auto download, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So what you have to click here is this icon, and it says institutional access proxy connection is not working, and that's why it's not able to download. So you click on the proxy connection, log in, make sure that you are logged in into your library. Since they have started the two-factor authentication, it's been harder. So you make sure you have access, and now you click again and then say auto download and see if it works. Let's try this one. Well, this one, proxy connection failed, auto download. And this is connecting to proxy. And let's try this one. So it started to download, and as you can see now I have the downloaded version. So it's easier to just, you know, make a collection and then go back and start downloading. I use this all the time. It's a fantastic application to work with. The web version works better. The only limitation of this is the app, and the app is in beta version. So hopefully when the app comes out, this would probably be unbeatable. One honorable mention that I did not actually include was ReadCube. Now, they recently bought Papers, which was one of the best reference manager on a Mac. When I used to have a Mac, which I had to go back to Windows because of work issues, and PAC system doesn't work on the Mac. Either way, the ReadCube is going to be something that is going to be better. And there's a try the new ReadCube Papers app. I haven't done it yet, so that's my next thing, and we'll see how it goes. So again, thank you. Visit my website, provide me with feedback, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks again.